So, hi everyone, this is Davos, and I'm just about to show you how I put my live set together using Cubase and give you an idea of the amount of work that goes into it. So, here we are looking at my beautiful big monitor and my project. So, what we have here, arranged into folders, is a 50-minute set, which is basically what I put together to make my backing track that I play live to. So in this section here you can see all the drum parts, and you know, if we zoom in, you'll see how I've laid out some standard beats, hi-hats, kicks and stuff, and then a bit further down all the different individual drum loops that I've used. So let's zoom back out again so that you can see the whole width of the project. So from this point here on the left to this point here on the right is approximately 50 minutes. So because it's such a huge project, everything's organised into folders, and I have these parts here to give me a guide to which tracks I'm working on at any given time. As you can see, there's some classic names there from old school, from 1988 to about 1994. So if we open all this out, we've got all the drum parts in this kind of off red colour, and you can see already it's quite complex. Let's zoom back out again and I'll show you all the other parts. So I've basically split it into 3 folders. So I've got all the vocal samples here. It probably looks a little thin, but actually when you hear it, it doesn't. And then in this section here, I've got all the track parts. So in my medley, I play each track maybe, you know, 30 seconds to a minute. I haven't even counted how many tracks there are in it, but let's start it off, and you can see what a complex project this is.
Okay, party people in the house.
You might catch yourself sliding in and out of a hallucinatory state after this is all over. If you do, just relax and enjoy it. It'll soon go away. But for now.
So this first track is one of my favourite old tracks, which I've taken a little bit of license in the reproduction of it, but this is Ralph Rosario's An Instrumental Need, which was also Shades of Rhythm's Everybody, I think. Yeah, that's right. So you can see here we've got the bass parts, the string parts, and on this track here I've just recorded a rough of what I actually play live, so that's mostly pianos and synths, just to give me a guide when I'm producing the rest of the stuff. Now this is a sort of never-ending project. I'm always adapting and developing it, otherwise I get bored gigging. So now, I'm not the biggest genius producer in the world, and some of these tracks, you know, only sort of approximate the original, but like I said, I just wanted to give you an idea of how much work. This is probably the result of about, you know, a year to 18 months of development. So maybe we'll skip through a few. So let's move over to something that's got a little vocal work on it. So moving on. I mean, actually all of these tracks are my favourite tracks from way back in the day, and like I said, I've taken a little artistic license in the reproduction, but I'm I'm just trying to keep it interesting for myself and for the audience on stage. So I think we've got something like maybe 400 tracks in this particular project, and you can see how I just have everything stacked up. So this is what I actually play live. This is quite rough, and if we just open out some parts here, so let's turn the drums back on. So every part that you can see here I've actually created from scratch. So I've recorded them with MIDI and then re-recorded them as WAV files, and then dropped in samples like this, which is King B, backed by Dope Demand. But all the basses, all the keys, all the other parts have been written and recorded here from scratch, because I think if I'm going to play other people's music live, I should, you know, at least make the effort. Again, these are all classics from 1988 to 94, and you know, people of a certain age will definitely get what I'm doing, but I hope that what I do translates across generations, because this was a very joyous time in music, and you know, I still really enjoy playing these out to people. So I'm just going to skip through a couple more, because it's not just one track and then another track, though it does start like that. But what I have done is combine tracks. So here I've done a sort of fairly accurate representation of Carino by T-Coy. But as a DJ would, when it gets to the mix point, which I obviously bring in a lot sooner than a DJ would, I only play, like I said, about a minute or a couple of minutes of any particular track. Let's just fast forward a little. So hopefully this section here will sound something like a DJ mix, because we're going from Carino into Orange Lemon, and Phantom, the bass line from Phantom, and then Dreams of Santana, and then into Expansions, Elevations, which, you know, they're all classics. So there's a trumpet part that I play live. My live parts are not just pianos, it's trumpets, synths, you know, whatever suits the songs that I'm playing, really. So I'm just going to compress everything back up so we can see the whole thing. Let's open everything out. So here's all the drum parts. So drum parts here, vocal parts here, my live performance here, and all the track parts across the 50-minute set. So this is Expansions, Elevations. So I did my research. I ended up sampling the original riff from S Express along with the original Tony Scott beat from That's How I'm Living, which is how the original track was done. And then the synth parts I play live, which is here. Still gives me goosebumps, this. And you know, that's how it's done. I've also taken a little bit of license. I've picked out some tracks from, you know, pre-88 because they just seem to suit. So for instance, this where it says Gino and Jackson Sisters, well, I start with the bass line from Welcome by Gino Latino, with the vocals from First Choice, Let No Man Put Us Under. But then I've also sampled in the Jackson Sisters, I Believe in Miracles, and this is the result. So I'm just going to compress everything back up again and just round up the end of this. If you've got any questions about the production here, please feel free to drop me a line and I'll try and answer your questions. But really, I just wanted you to get some kind of idea of the hours and hours and hours I've spent on it. I hope you can make it to one of my live sets soon. And I'll just leave you with the end of my set, which is Strings of Life. Thanks for listening, everyone. I'll see you soon.